After my static mix, I have the output of the drum tracks going into the drum bus, averaging around minus 18 dBFS, which is a nice level. And my peaks no higher than 6. So it's around 4. It's around 6 now. So let's apply some compression. Woo, that sounds nice, but what it did is it brought up the gain, so I'm gonna have to adjust that. I do want some punch in these drums, but not too much. So now you can see it's peaking at around minus 3.1 and from 6, so it's adding about 3 dBs of gain. Let's hear the drum bus with the plugins engaged and the plugins turned off, and then we're gonna hear the drum bus in context with the mix. Okay, so what's happened now, the dynamics are controlled. However, it lost some of that nice top end, but that's okay because I can add that back in a more controlled manner. So I'm gonna bring another plugin. Before I do that, let me just tell you what I have going on here. I got the threshold set to -7, slow attack at 30, 2-to-1 ratio, and I have a fast release. Let me see if I could do anything with the tone. I'm going to bring in another EQ, and for this, I'm going to use the CQ from Sound Toys. I really like this EQ, and I'm going to add some top end with it. Let's see what it's doing. Okay, the change that you heard is not actually the EQ or the plugins, it's actually gain. So that's not good. So let's bring the gain back down. That's a trim mono. Let's see if that works. What I wanted to make sure was that the trim mono or the trim was not gonna make the drums mono. So it's not, it doesn't look like it. So let's just bring the gain down a little bit. Whoops. Okay, that's perfect there. Oh, okay, that's good there. So we can do a fair comparison. Okay, that's good. We close that out. I don't have any buses for the guitars or the vocals for now. So I think that in terms of the mix and how the drum affects the mix, we're going to be really happy when we hear it all in context. So let's listen to it in context now, and I'm going to bypass the plugins so you can hear the difference.
Won't you tell me, babe, how I sing along with you in this game for two? Won't you tell me, babe, how do you feel? 'Cause I noticed, girl, I noticed that you so real. Tell me, I sing along with you in this game for two. Won't you tell me, babe, how do you feel? 'Cause I know.
Okay, so the difference now is very subtle because we match the gain of all the plugins, and I used the trim at the end of the chain here to adjust the gain that the plugins were adding. Now, I don't have to subject myself to the gain difference. If I like the tone, then I can push up the gain a little bit, but the drums sound nice and cleaned up already just using plugins in the mix bus. And I do have 4 plugins, but I'm not using them a lot or really crazy, just really mild changes or minimal changes. Okay, so let's talk about how we can process the rest of the instruments.